Well, welcome to the latest Star Sports Zoom room. And the subject matter this week is the Bitches Classic, The Oaks, which is at Perry Barr on Thursday evening. And what a classy lineup it is. I'm really pleased to tell you I'm joined by Lofty once again. He'll take us through the betting in just a moment. And also Brendan O'Neill, who is an agent for owner Ray Patterson, who owns the hot favourite Skywalker Cilla, who goes in the final in Trap 4 on Thursday night. So thank you both of you for joining us. Let's start, as always, Lofty, with a betting show, please.
Yeah, so obviously Cilla's gone through. It's unbeaten so far. She's 8 to 11 odds on favourite. Billy's Diva is 5 to 2. So the two Irish ladies, 1-2 in the betting, as you'd expect. Doopy Samantha is 7 to 1 for Kev Hutton. We got a Ritzy Lady at 8 outside the wide runner for Jim Reynolds. Ballymac Trend, who's now with Dave Mullins, of course. She's the reigning champion, 16 to 1. And Anniversary Girl, Kev Hutton's second runner, is the outsider, 33 to 1.
So hot favourite is Skywalker Cilla. Congratulations, Brendan. She really is a classy bitch. She's really set the standard in every round so far, including in the semi-finals on Thursday night. So that display was pretty good, beating the defending champion by 4 lengths, 27.96. She has been so impressive at the track, hasn't she?
She has, Julian. Thanks for having me on. She's been very impressive through the stakes so far, Julie. And like after missing her break on last Thursday night, just to record such a time was just phenomenal, 27.96, 3 spots off the clock, after slightly missing it, but showed massive boot into the bend, and she took to the track great, thanks be to God. And, she seems to like to play long run to the bend, suits her, the big back straight, and she's a great bitch,
She really is. Of course, your Irish Derby consolation winner. I guess, you're one of 2 Irish runners in the final. My slight concern would be the travelling, because I always think once you get to that top level, be it the Derby or the Oaks, that's an extra factor that potentially you'd rather not have. But is she a good traveller, and how is she this week?
Great. I was talking to the lads there, and like Mark and Michael would be very, very confident of her, like travelling wise, and that she seems to be super and takes it in her stride every night. And she seems great to travel, and luckily enough, because if you're going with a highly strung animal to be very, very hard on them and to take an awful lot out of them, whereas she's so relaxed, and it's great, lucky that she's that way. And so far so good. She's travelled great, thank God.
She's drawn in Trap 4 for the final, outside of the defending champion Ballymac Trend, who she just beat, as I said, by 4 lengths in the semi-final. What do you think of the makeup of the race?
Well, people are telling me that Ballymac Trend can take a step right. I'm not sure now. I haven't seen enough of Ballymac Trend to say that, but people are saying to me that she can take a step to the right. But all we can do is worry about her own lady and get her there in one piece. And that what Billy's Diva has shown over the last year and a half, 2 years, that she's a high class lady and a great bitch. And I'm sure it won't be just between the 3 I've mentioned. Anything can happen in a final, and I know that better than anybody. But you take nothing for granted. But she's going there with a great chance, please God. And I hope, as I said, she travels over great, and she does us proud in the night, because, as I said, if she puts her best foot forward, she's pretty good.
Lofty, I'd dream to own any of these bitches, but Skywalker Cilla in particular, she's really impressed in this competition. What a classy animal.
She certainly has, taken to this track, broke 28 seconds around Perry Barr, 2 or 3 outings around here, and say for a bitch, you just come round and had one look. She can only really get better. And she's obviously quite, an island quite lightly raced. I mean, Billy's Diva's got a lot more miles on the clock, and you look at the Irish CVs, Billy's Diva, an Easter Cup finalist, a Sherborne 600 finalist. I mean, she was favourite in the Irish Oaks, to beat a certain Susie Sapphire. So that's how highly, she was rated back in Ireland. And say, looking at the Irish card, you would think that she would be the, coming over here would be the better of the 2 bitches who came over from Ireland. But Cilla's just taken to the track so well. Billy's Diva, I think she's, taken her time. Although she won her first 2 rounds, she was all over the show in the semi-final, tried to switch outside Ritzy Lady and come back inside her off the last bend. I mean, was very unlucky in defeat against her, but she's, I think, got a lovely draw on the inside. Billy's Diva, nice makeup. Again, as Brendan said, I think Ballymac Trend will take a step right out of the box, and so Anniversary Girl also inside or outside Billy's Diva. So I think she's got the absolute perfect draw on the inside. But look, you've got a bitch who's done, broke 28 dead around there twice, and she's absolutely flying at the moment. She was flying on Irish Derby Farm night when she won the consolation final there. It was very impressive, and I was over there that night. And yeah, I mean, two top quality, ladies from Ireland to watch and see. Let's not rule out the English as well. I mean, Ritzy Lady won her semi-final. She's there on merit. Look, Droopy Samantha. I mean, she only had, there's nothing of her. She's a little pocket rocket of Kev's, but she's got all heart. Battled on really well in her semi-final to outstay anniversary girl. And if she's there at the corner and can get herself round in front, it could be a different race as well. But it's a really good final. What I'm looking forward to.
Brendan, I'm sure you're very familiar with Billy's Diva, and as Lofty said, two very classy Irish bitches in the final. Who would you say is the better between Cilla and Diva?
So we'll know Thursday night. Like I said, Billy's Diva, she was a good letter, maybe running on, and she's been in a lot of finals. She's been a great bitch for the Kennedys, and Cilla has a lot less miles in the clock. Cilla actually went into the Derby, Julie, and she was only barely back out from being out of the season. So as the rounds progressed in the Derby, she'd been getting better and better, and she was very, very unlucky in the quarterfinal of the Derby. She beat Ballymacfairwan, giving 3 lengths down the back, and beat him 1.5 minutes in the third round. And Kevin Ryan showed great pace. The night of the quarterfinal, she missed it slightly out of one, went down to the bend and met a bit of trouble, and she failed to qualify by 0.5 length. So we thought, like, as the Derby would go on, she proved that on the Derby final, like winning the consolation. It was only 1 spot slower than the Derby winner, Susie Sapphire, So, like, she's up there. Cilla is there with any of the best bitches this country, Billy's Diva and Scooby Princess, and as I said, Susie Sapphire, Ballymacfairwan. We're lucky here and blessed to have a great crop of bitches here at the present moment in time, But to say who's the best, we'll know next Thursday night. But they're two great bitches, and they're both going there, so great chances,
Absolutely. And of the English runners, Lofty, I have to say, you touched on Ritzy Lady. She really impressed me in the semi-final because it was a messy heat, and it was a very gutsy run from her for a bitch.
It was, yeah, and as you say again, it's very lightly raced. She just was bought out of a stake round Clonmel, or A5, like run around there, and like most Jim Reynolds dogs, they're always brought along very slowly, and they never stop improving from dogs from JR's kennel. I'm sure Billy McMahon and the boys who are involved with her, they've had a lot of fun with her. And yeah, she's there on merit, and she's got a lovely man on the outside. As you say, I mean, Billy's Diva was climbing all over her last time, and certainly looked a faster dog. But again, wide seed, she's got the run on the outside. She's quite strong, I think, as well. So you might even see her over 6 bends in the future. I think. I think she's quite a strong running sort. I mean, she got picked up by Droopy's Ether, I think, when she ran in the bitchy stake at Toaster, the Empress, and she impressed us there actually. And I say she's very, very lightly raced for like a lot of the bitches over here. They're sort of brought along quite slowly as well. And yeah, she wouldn't be out of it. It's like anniversary girl. We touched upon. I mean, Droopy Samantha, we touched upon her earlier on. So there's absolutely nothing of her, but she's all heart and got a lot of early pace as well. So it's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination. But the Irish girls do look a bit stronger, I must admit, looking at them on paper. Yeah,
I just want to mention as well, Jago Macy, who sadly broke her hock in her semi-final. Perhaps not a career-ending injury, we hope not, but what a bitch she has been, and wish her all the best in her recovery. Not just Skywalker dogs in form at the moment, Brendan, but the O'Donovan family, they're having a pretty good time of it at the moment, aren't they? Must be absolutely loving life.
They're going great. They like Mark has had a great and unbelievable start to a training career. Like, they won the Kirby earlier on the year, and after winning they won the Select Stakes with Barry in the Juvenile Derby, and and they were very unlucky with the pup Tremana Bocco. He looked a superstar for him, and they won the Kirby, as I said, and they won the Sprint Stake in the Island Bridge, I think, in Shelburne as well. They've had a great year, and great credit to them. They're great guys, and do a fantastic job on the dogs, and their dogs are always looking immaculate.
And even the cousin Tommy O'Donovan, of course, landing the laurels last week. So things going very well. Exactly. Skywalker Cilla then, short price favourite for the final, but Lofty, you think you're going elsewhere?
Just on the draw, I want to be with Billy's Diva. I just think there's not as much of the betting maybe suggests between the pair of them, and I just think in a possible clean run race, maybe Billy's Diva will just get used to the track now with her third look. It's very similar to Cilla as well, but there's many looks at the track. But yeah, just on the draw, And if if she doesn't come flying away, Skywalker Cilla, I just for the value, just for a value, I'm a value hawk, me. So I just would be with Billy's Diva at the prices. But I mean, hopefully it's just like a clean run final and the best dog wins.
I feel like you two are erring on the side of an Irish 1-2 here, but I guess the downside for backing Skywalker Cilla, Brendan, is that she is very, very short.
She is very short. Yeah, I think she was priced at 12-1 before the competition started by a couple of the firms, or 10-1 or whatever. And I thought it myself personally that was massive, because as I said, I'd rate her up here with being as fast as any dog or bitch in this country on any given night. She has the raw pace to match any dog in this country. She's been a great bitch. She's very, very likely raced. She came in season after she won the Turles Champion Bitch Stake. I bought her, Julie, after her second race. We knew how good Barry was, and she showed big boot behind Barry one night, a big raw pace in Shelburne in Barry's second race. Barry got a bit held up in that race and won the race, but Cilla showed she was Troopy's cream at the time, and she showed massive pace behind him that night. And I rang Ray the following morning and I said to him, Ray, I seen the bitch last night, it can be purchased. And I bought her from Michael Butler. And the actual words I said to Ray that morning was, if you don't buy her, Ray, I'll buy her. That's how impressed I was with her. And she's gone forward ever since. Michael and I said, and Mark have done a fantastic job with her. And, she actually, Julie, she did a remarkable trial in Cork a couple of months ago, and it was just mind-blowing coming back before the Derby. That's why we give her a chance. I know coming back after being in season that it was going to be hard on her, but as the rounds came, as people seen, as the rounds went on the Derby, she started to come forward big time. But said I wouldn't swap her for any other bitch in the final anyway, that's for sure.
Well, good for you, and I really do wish you all the best. She's a lovely, lovely bitch. Lofty, it's a double header with the Scurry too on Thursday at Perry Barr. Crossfield Dusty is the favourite for the final, and I know you've been looking closely at this one, mainly because of a personal interest.
I've had a couple at the start, Julie. Actually, I actually backed Sign It Goofy at the start, who of course is a member of that tremendous litter that Kevin Hutton's got, that were 1, 2, 3 in the recent British bred puppy final down at Toaster. And yeah, I've followed him closely actually with his career. It's a real nice dog round Toaster in sprints for John Mullins. And yeah, listen, I mean, he's a 10-1 shot. I mean, I think he's virtually the same price now, about half the price now he was at the start. But I think he's a big runner. He's got a lot of ability. He made a funny race in his first round. He's in your ease close home there. And last time just got picked up by a shrewd call when they ran in the semi-final. But look, Crossfield Dusty, he's 4 from 4 at Perry Barr. He's obviously a sprinter going places. But yeah, I've got a little sneak for that, and for Gilo Gold Dust as well, who, she was flying around Romford last year over 400 when she was with Carl Perry, now with Jamie Davey down at up at Sheffield, since Carl's given up training. And I think also she's coming back to form, and I think she's a big runner here as well. But yeah, it's not as open as the bet, and not as close up as the betting suggests, with Crossfield Dusty being 8 to 11 chance. Shrewd call as well. Also, he was like looked a bit of superstar of the British sprinting spirit scene last year, but he's got drawn out in trap 5 again. He's been used to trap 5. I think he's had trap 5 about his last 5 races, for a middle runner. But he's more than capable on his day. But that's a real good sprint. It's a shame you see the prize money as well, only worth £3,000. And this has picked the real creme de la creme of British sprinters, and to see him running for £3,000 in a race that's not even a Cat 1 is a bit of a disgrace, really. But the dogs are there and they're running, and they're still out for running. And hopefully it'll be a decent race. Looking forward to that equally as much as the Oaks final on Thursday night.
Absolutely, and Scurry's still such a prestigious race in all of our minds, no matter what it's worth. Such a good sprint race, and probably the best of the year potentially. I
can remember being at Catford, so he shows my age. I remember in tracks like Catford.
That does show your age. That does show your age. I don't remember it at Catford. I remember it at various other places. I think Bellevue, wasn't it?
Bellevue had it. That's right. Yeah, it used to be over 4. It was over the 4 bends at Catford. Either 380 or 385 at Catford. I can remember it being. Yeah. So, see, I was learning a lot with you, Jules.
You're a lot older than me, Lofty. What can I say? Brendan, thank you so much for joining us. And look, she's a dream, isn't she, Skywalker Cilla? I wish you all the best with her on Thursday night. We'll be watching closely. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Julie. Thanks, Lofty.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.